With 101 million units sold, the Wii has to be the most iconic gaming console of all time. And that success means there's a lot of great games to play on it. You know the games: Wii Sports Resort, Mario Kart, Wii Fit, Smash Brawl, both Mario Galaxy games, Animal Crossing, Lego Star Wars, Skyward Sword, and loads of Just Dance games. But there's one game that I think is better than all those. A game that isn't even in the top 50 bestsellers. But before we get started on playing it, I think we need to start training. Sprained my ankle. Just subscribe for more exercise videos.
Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9.
About 7 years ago, I was strolling my way down YouTube, seeing the music video for Turn Down for What and headlines about the Ebola outbreak, when I stumbled upon a video by the Game Grumps. Struck by the visually appealing logo and the fact that I was already a fan of the two comedians, I gave this series a try. Little did I know that I was about to view what was going to become one of my favorite video games of all time. Now, before I get into why this game is so special to me, I think I need to discuss the genre of game that I tend to enjoy. Difficulty has always been something that I almost require in my video games, but not your usual type of difficulty. I enjoy the type of difficulty where you're performing one task over and over, just trying to get the slightest edge on your opponent. A perfect example of this type of game would be the huge indie success game Celeste. Celeste is a side-scrolling platformer known for its ridiculously challenging levels and charming story. I would spend hours on end attempting the same jump over and over, just trying to get some stupid strawberry that doesn't do anything except make a cute sound effect. But it's worth it, I promise. I never really understood why I love this sort of game. I just hate knowing that the task can be done and it's just sitting right in front of me. And finally landing that jump after 3 hours is one of the most satisfying feelings a game has ever given me. And if you've ever played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you know there's always a way harder jump right after it. And I love that about this game. Anyways, back to Punch-Out! From the first second I saw this game, I needed to play it. Maybe it was the cel-shaded graphics that were so charming to me, or the promise of difficulty, but when I finally got my hands on it on my birthday, I was hooked. To give you an idea of how much I've played this game in my life, I downloaded a PC emulator for it and played on just my keyboard and mouse, and ended up winning almost every single fight without even getting knocked down. I remember being like 13 years old and playing this game blindfolded and never getting knocked down by any of the fighters. I know this game like the back of my hand. But why do I like it so much? Why is it so charming? Let's get into it. Easily the most memorable aspect of this franchise is the characters. Every character is based on whichever country the boxer hails from. Glass Joe is from France, Super Macho Man is from Hollywood, Don Flamenco from Spain, etc. While there's an argument to be made that these characters are offensive to their respective cultures, I have always thought that the boxers are extremely charming and memorable, and they display their cultures in a good light. Plus, the creators of Punch-Out! Next Level Games are a Canadian-based company, and I think one of the boxers' intro videos can explain to you why that's important. My point is that the creators joke about all sorts of stereotypes, even their own. That being said, I absolutely adore these characters. Their voice actors are hilarious, and you can tell the creators were committed to making each character unique in their fighting style and look. The only thing this game is missing is subtitles whenever the non-English speaking characters say voice lines. I don't know what you're saying. Hello? Now let's get on with the gameplay. The gameplay in Punch-Out is obviously what takes the cake in terms of it standing out from other video games. Similar to an old 2D platformer, this game has an amazing way of teaching you how to do different types of moves without just straight up telling you how to do it. Punch-Out is one of those games that just doesn't tell you how to do things. It wants you to learn by doing. You will do a fight over and over and over, just trying to find some kind of edge on your opponent, never being able to find it. But when you finally do, you feel so satisfied and rewarded for your time spent playing. You're not just sitting there being told by the screen or by Doc, hey, when Mr. Sandman winks on the right, it means he's gonna go on the right. Sometimes Doc will tell you how to do a move, but it's always a hint. He never straight up says how to defeat your opponent. When you're fighting King Hippo for the first time, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You're just sitting there trying to get the slightest little edge in, but you're not getting any hits. And when you finally find out that the only way you can hit him is by hitting him when his mouth is open, is such a satisfying feeling. You, as the player, figured out how to fight King Hippo. Nobody threw it at your face, it was just there and you had to figure it out for yourself. This game is the epitome of the phrase, practice makes perfect. When you first fight Mr. Sandman, it feels like, wow, I am never going to be able to win this. But then you just poke and prod at it for hours and hours and days on end, and eventually you start getting some damage in. You start knocking him down, and it becomes so satisfying just to see that giant beast fall to the ground like a tree. And this game knows how satisfying that feeling is. They show a amazing slow motion sequence of you knocking him down to the ground, and it is the best feeling ever, I promise. But believe me, when I first fought Mr. Sandman, I don't even think I got a hit in. But that's what's great about this game. It feels impossible. It's the perfect underdog game. Last thing I want to talk about is the fact that this series has been forgotten by Nintendo. We have not heard anything about this game since Little Mac was added to Smash like 6 years ago. Unfortunately, I think it is very possible that Nintendo is holding off from making any more Punch-Out games because maybe some of the stereotypes with the characters are a little bit dated, and with certain things happening over the past couple of years in history, I don't think we're going to be seeing another Punch-Out game, at least not the way they are now. If you ask me though, I think the characters are great just the way they are. It doesn't really bother me. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.